Hello and welcome to the Craft Beer Corner. For today's beer review, we're jumping into an Imperial Stout from Adroit Theory. Been a while since I've reviewed one of their beers. Pretty much everything I try from them is top tier. It's been a while, so we're going to pull one out here. So we've got Coven, and they always give you their ghost number, 969 on this one. This is a Russian Imperial Stout that clocks in at 12% ABV. Adroit Theory is based in Purcellville, Virginia. So no additives, nothing else, just a, plain Jane Russian Imperial Stout. No barrel aging, no cacao, just straight up the beer style. So as always, they have very, very cool label art. I don't know if the camera will pick that up. I'm trying to angle it down away from the lights so it doesn't get glare, but pretty creepy, pretty dark. So, Russian Imperial Stout from Adroit. It's been a while since I've reviewed one of their beers. The label art looks awesome. Let's get this cracked gently here and poured right into the old stout glass. Okay, that's not glugging super, super thick for 12%, so it should have a pretty easy job forming a head here. Oh yeah, quite active, very small, quickly moving beads. That's not going to have a problem forming a head. In fact, had I known, I would have gone a little bit less aggressive on the pour, but that's okay. Didn't quite get the whole thing in there. I can tell you, it's got a very pronounced aroma. Got a very, very pronounced aroma. As soon as you start pouring it, you can smell deep, richly roasted malts coming right off of this beer. So let's hold it up. Visually, it is pitch black. It looked very dark as I poured it. It didn't look super thick, but it is super pitch black. It did form a very nice creamy head. I see it slowly starting to settle down a little bit, but it's a pretty nice head to be poured at home, I gotta say. This looks like it could have been poured off of a tap at the bar with that head formation. So let's get right up over it for a sniff. Yeah, it smells very malty, very roasty. There's even some subtle kind of floral aromas coming off of it. I don't know if that might be coming from malt or yeast, or perhaps whatever hops they used in there, but it smells very big. It smells very rich. This is probably going to make a mess of my beard, but it's settled down to about, maybe about an inch. So we're going to just jump right in and see what this one's about. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, that is a huge beer. That is intense, intense flavor. Very big indeed. So the mouthfeel on this one is very resistant. It's a 12% Russian Imperial. You would expect it to be, and it is. Agitating around the palate does make it feel quite creamy, and you can really feel the resistance. The body on this one, I would say, is right about medium heavy. Definitely above average. Maybe not quite as heavy and weighty as I expected for the ABV and the style, but it's not missing the mark by much. So texturally, feels really, really nice. Flavor-wise, there's no coffee, there's no barrel aging, there's no vanilla, chocolate, coconut, no additives. It's just a standard true Russian Imperial Stout, and it's a style I absolutely love. This is a big, big beer. So while there were some kind of floral, slightly fruity aromas coming off of the nose, nothing like that at all translates into the glass. It is big, bold, heavily roasted malts. Heavily roasted. These are the kinds where when I talk about malts sometimes take on the quality of like a French or Italian roast coffee bean, where it's really deeply charred, almost to the edge of being burned. It doesn't taste smoky. It's not like a Rauch beer, but it's just deep, intense roasting. That is on this, and it's hugely pungent. In tandem with that, there is a ton of bitters coming off of this beer. Some of that could be from their hop selection, but I do, just the way that it tastes, feel like the majority is just coming naturally from the malts that they selected to go into this beer. This is a classic Russian Imperial Stout. No tricks, no gimmicks, just a classic interpretation of the style that is top tier and done absolutely phenomenally. I expect this from Adroit Theory, just based on my prior experience, and this is no different. This is just another absolutely top tier beer. So in terms of the complexities of flavor, it really is all about that deep, intense sense of roastiness. There are some subtle undercurrents of kind of caramelization, but it's nothing that I would say, oh, that tastes like caramel. Oh, that tastes like toffee. Nothing like that at all. And there's really no sense of a coffee-like flavor that I'm getting off of this, except for just the deep level of the roasting, the deep level of char does slightly put me in mind of like a French roast coffee bean, but there's nothing that tastes like coffee per se. It just has a lot of the same characteristics. So this is just a no-nonsense, no frills, extremely well executed Russian Imperial Stout that is big and bold and in your face, and I am absolutely loving it. Yeah, head settled, but it's still nice and creamy even on the top. So we're gonna jump back in for a second sip, let everything re-intensify, see if I missed anything else, and we'll talk about the finish. Oh man, it's so intense. You get that slight suggestion of the kind of caramelly side of malts, that kind of cereal-like maltiness immediately, and then it just is a whoosh of roast, a whoosh of char. Very deep, very roasty. Nice kick of bitters. A lot of this earthy sense to it. This is a big, big beer. It pulls no punches about that. It's huge. Nothing else really hiding in the middle, just this interplay of the subtle, slight kind of caramelization notes that come through and that deep, deep, deep char and deep roast quality coming out of that malt bill. In terms of the finish, it's long. It is wet and round to the end on this one, and it's very long. This is a very flavor-forward, deep, roasty malt character that plays on the back of the palate for an extremely long time. And just like the bitters that really come through in this one, this is bitter than a lot of IPAs I've had. It's very big, it's very bold, it's very earthy, it's got a nice bitter back to it, and that's what lingers on the back of the palate. It's bittering, and it's that earthy char. It's just absolutely fantastic. This is a textbook Russian Imperial Stout. They absolutely nailed this. The balance of the malts, the yeast, whatever hops they use, top tier. Big, big fan of this one. I'm going to take my time, sip on this beer, come up with my scores. When we come back, we'll get this beer ranked from top to bottom. All right, now that we've gotten to enjoy this beer, we're going to get it ranked. This was Adroit Theory's Coven, Ghost number 969, a Russian Imperial Stout clocking in at 12% ABV. Adroit Theory is based in Purcellville, Virginia. So this is another one of those beers that nearly got a perfect score. There's only one category it did not get a perfect 10 out of 10. That was for the body. Well above average though, I gave it an 8 out of 10. Just wasn't quite as robust as I expected for the style and the ABV range. But it still did have very, very nice presence in terms of the body and the weight. Perfect 10 in all remaining categories. Aroma, taste, mouthfeel, finish, head and retention, appearance, balance, my subjective thoughts, feelings / intangible, an example of style, which does bring the total score on Adroit Theory's Coven to a 98 out of 100. I was really, really impressed with this one. This is a no-nonsense, no frills, no tricks, no gimmicks, just a classic, true to the style, exceptionally well-brewed Russian Imperial Stout. If you're a fan of the style, this is one to seek. Big, bold, roasty, intense flavors, absolutely top tier for this style. Folks, that's today's review. As always, I do sincerely appreciate you tuning in today. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to stay in the loop when our videos go live, just turn on your notifications, hit the bell icon. It's right next to the subscribe button. Until next time, keep it beer, keep it craft. We'll see you on the next one. Cheers.